Well, hello there. Yorkie le Fey here. Once again, taking it back to Galadian. More Pathfinder, Kingmaker. Now, forgive the little glitch early, but you can see some of the things I want on the screen, I guess. On computer. Doesn't make a difference. Thankfully, I don't have any bank details on there. Anyway, we beat our mag, and now it's time to deal with some other stuff. Let's head out. We have... Knock Knock needs... I need to go to that with Knock Knock. We'll deal with that first. And then we'll come back and get Willis Gunnarson's buck. Probably Tesla Quill or one of the other traders can have it. Gives us a chance to sell some stuff we got from the what the hell do they call the place? Whatever. The underground place, you know what I mean. Stop. And I need... Knock knock. Oh. Alright, well, I guess... going to sell first. So main square. Tessie? Any books by Willis? Pardon me, Your Highness. I once took a couple of books with me and I dragged them around for 3 years till someone bought them for a pittance as kindling. Won't be easy to find the works of that scribbler. Maybe someone in town has them. Alright. We'll not deal with you right now then. That's up. Apparently I can't ask him. Zarcy? Nothing from you. Birdle. Oh, I can ask him. I bet he's got them then. It's like you're interrogating me. Of course I do. Everyone says he's bad, but I like him. The guy writes his feeling. I mean, used to write. Does the phrase 1510 mean anything to you? About Gunderson, he has a book entitled 10 Adventures. It's some of his best works. Can I borrow them? Go ahead, read away. And now I'd like to see your goods. Get rid of that. Don't need any more of them. Not using the stag helmet anymore. Oh, that can go to a Miri. Name. And we have Golden War Axe, no one's going to use that. Daggers +1. No one's going to use Falcata. Flaming Dagger +1. Flaming Flail +2. Keen Rapier, I don't think anyone's using Rapier. Scythe, only a Keen Scythe +1. That's going to go to a Miri. Quarterstaff. I don't know if anyone's using the Quarterstaff, I don't think so. Rapier. Battle Axe. Someone might be using that. Although no, she's using oversized swords in shit, so not the axe. Shock Javelin. No rapiers. No quarterstaff. It's bringing in a decent amount of money, I'll say that. Warhammer. Right, Amiri, Amiri. What is it I'm using? I'm using a spear. You're using big stuff. You're of course using your kinetic stuff. Dagger for you, Esperida. Oh, you are using a quarterstaff. I should have kept it. Scythe. Bastard sword. Knock knock, you're doing daggers. Tristan, you're doing scimitar. You. Oh, that's light armor, isn't it? Okay for it. Plate of the Beast, medium armor. 1 point less. Four points Constitution and the ability to cast Perspective of the Wolf once per day as a 10th level druid. We'll get rid of it, I guess. Heart of Thunder, no one's gonna use that. Bogeyman's Robe. This robe grants its wearer +2 bonus to all concentration checks, +5 competence bonus and knowledge arcana. Chance to frighten an enemy on a hit. Okay. You've got +2 strength, that's +4 strength. Oh! Firstly, you can have that. What is that? That's Mighty Constitution +6. You can have that. But you have that, and that one. Damage reduction 2 against ranged attacks. And the ability to cast Good Hope and Crushing Despair spells once per day. +3 dodge bonus to AC. What are you using? Oh, you might as well have that, Valerie. You might as well have that. For what good it'll do, you can have that. Well, why don't you take the robe? And I think that will do. Get rid of these. Right, quick trip over with knock knock. Wait for me here, friends. I have to go for a trick with the goblin. Not you, Ebbing. You're the goblin. Knock, knock, knock. $10. Looks like there's something going off at the castle that I didn't see. Ancient curse upon us. Last Wall's cavalry, anybody? No. How close are we to the curse? 27 days. What this king wants.
Step, step, step!
Knock knock looks around uncertain. You don't see anyone and no goblin shapes about. And no sign of a goblin camp either. Something feels wrong. There's a strange feel in the air and that hint of sulphur, like smelled on Knock Knock's cap in the throne room. Knock Knock speaks his place, but King not here yet? Knock Knock sounds slightly relieved, but he still looks ready to bolt. Hold your ground. Knock Knock nods, and as he does, you suddenly notice the surroundings melt away into trails of acrid smoke, leaving a number of goblin weapons at the ready. Still, while their weapons are drawn, they do not attack, and they have a curious light in their eyes you haven't seen before. It takes you a second to realise its determination. They don't look scared at all, merely stand at the ready, as if awaiting the command to attack. As you take in your new opponents, a familiar figure emerges from the tree line, walking strangely, as if fighting the edge to run down on all hunch down on all fours, almost feral. The figure looks to be the Goblin King you recall, but something is wrong about him. It's like someone tried to cram a larger creature inside him. Tufts of fur, like that of a wolf, peek from his rags, and his eyes, rather than dull and soft, seem to hold cold fire in them. Knock knock, this isn't the king, this is something that looks like him. The king approaches and stops, his face peeling back in an almost demonic smile. This is not the king, but some creature wearing its shape. The king gazes at you, and you feel your scalp rise. As he speaks, his voice is a rasp like knives being dragged across a metal plate. Which of you was once ruled by this ragged shape I wear? The sooner your blood coats the ground, the sooner my death is done. All you cattle smell alike to me. Enough of this, I'll deal with you myself. As you leap to attack, the Barghest gives a howl. Surrounding creatures charge you. Alright, so let's go. This could be an issue. But actually hitting, that's an issue.
Knock Knock used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Don't worry about it, Knock Knock, would you? Just have to take them down. Leopard. Yorkie le Fey. Step back. Summon Nature Line 3.
These
no.
heroes do not fight back. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you almost give them no chance to fight back. Yorkie le Fey.
Quadrivium Purinos.
Come here, Bat. Not gonna stab you.
Embrace me.
Go. Knock knock once and yet another word. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he's going, what the hell just happened? I know I am. Right, quick trip back home.
My life is a burden.
Don't worry about it, Yorkie. Main square.
Trail me.
Stomach empty.
Knocky. Knock Knock doesn't look at you, look at your approach. He's hunched over, hiding thought. One of his ears twitching slightly. Knock Knock, is something wrong? Knock Knock's ear twitching stops in mid-twitch. As he swivels his head towards you, been thinking about being a hero. Knock Knock can even be a hero or not. He nods at you. You are Longshanks and Halfshanks. That speak poorly, mangle words, bathes. He gestures around. But you make big tribe, found nation, build big city. Even if city smell bad, do great things, and Knock Knock does things and they seem small, ridiculous. I want to do what you do, but asking how. You've been more than a hero when you proved it. You dealt with mighty Munguk, saved your tribe, erected great temples of Lamashtu, and survived a goblin king twice, and won. Your words Knock Knock straightens inch by inch until he's standing tall. He holds his breath proudly until you see his ears turn red. See, I think that's meant to be. Then he exhales, coughing. When his fit ends, he seems to be chewing over your words and nodding to himself. A hero can be many things, and even heroes doubt themselves. Have faith. Simply don't give up. That's hero enough, and even I can see it. Knock Knock looks you over, his eyes narrow as if trying to judge if you're being serious. You mean if Knock Knock proved so? Kneel, Knock Knock. I pronounce you hero of the kingdom. Congratulations. Knock Knock kneels down, winces his knees find rock, then shifts to a new position, accidentally facing away from you. You decide to let it go. Knock Knock. I pronounce you hero of the kingdom, Bloomingdale's. Hero of the Stolen Lands. And grant you a title that can never be taken from you, that of fellow hero to Yorkie le Fey. Rise! After a moment he grunts, straightens and places his hands on top of his hips. I accept. Thinks for a moment now all is needed is a hero statue. Being a hero doesn't give you access to the treasury, by the way. I don't have funds, so you've got plenty. Do what you need to do. I have other matters to attend to. Knock seemed lost in thought, completely happy at your acknowledgement of his role. I hope you don't regret this. I should go. Nice. Very nice. Right, now let's head back inside the castle. Actually, let's first of all sell the junk we just picked up. I don't think there's a single item we need there. Who did you yell at? Them thieves came and stole a few bucks from me. Then left a note of all things. Stolen by the brothers and a sister of Zontropel. Best wishes. Ooh. Let's see. Firstly, yes. Secondly, fiery blood and cold blood. They might actually be good. Now you're a dueling sword master, so there's no point in giving them to you. Not at this point of the game, at least. Too late to do that kind of thing. Where's Knock Knock? There you are. Oh, those are kukris, aren't they? Yeah, they're kukris, and we're not using kukris, we're using daggers. Right, hassle. Oh. We've sold what we need, so let's pop inside. Sell any of the special loot that we got to the collector? Our dear storyteller? Done that. Anything that's going on? No. Oops. Let's go rest. And then let's have a word with Jubilost. Found Gunston's book, the one you were looking for. Let me see. Jubilost stares at the page. It's a good thing I'm not following Shelling, or I'd have thrown this thing into fire right now and draw the deity's wrath. Just look at the language. Shivering, she clung to my shoulder and whispered, "Willis, you are my only hope. Only your well-developed adventuring skills, your daring mind, merciless eloquence, and shameless courage can save a poor girl like me." But I digress. We need something 1510. Obviously, it's the 5th adventure from this book. The name of the chapter is In the Corner of the Tavern. Sounds like a place, but which tavern is it? The nearest one? And who or what should we look for? Wait, we know the place, the tavern, and number 24. We can suppose it's a place and a time, or rather a date. 24 that's contained a dozen times in a dozen, it's 24th of each month. I propose we meet at the capital on the next 24th. See what happens. Alright, we can take care of that. $10 days. ways failed, unfortunately. Last Walls Cavalry, nope. Project. We can do that. Got knowledge, triumph, well done. Doppelganger on the throne, trying to reach an arranged meeting between the ruler and the people. Finally convinced the true king sits on the throne. Good. Arcane lobby, success. Last Walls Cavalry. Oh. Unusual visitor has arrived. Have they? It's a golem. A strange golem to your throne room. It is seriously hurt, barely moving its legs and swaying as if it's drunk. Help us! Help! Help! Let's cursor. Frowning Harrim quickly responds, "How do you like that? Again, someone needs our help, and again it has to do with golems. Does any of this sound familiar, Yorkie le Fey? Those simpletons from the Skye clan must have dug something else up and got themselves into trouble again." Priest remarks, punctuated by a terrible clanging sound as the golem collapsed on the floor in pieces. And I warned them they were wooing death. I warned them. Let's return to that little fortress that they couldn't get inside and see what's happened to this time. Yeah, we need to go check on them. Just don't go without me, alright? I want to see with my own eyes what catastrophe they brought this time, all the while praying to their Torag. I can wait. We've got other things going on. I can wait. Nazrael? Thank you. Beholder of Winds, thank you. Events. Knock is up to something. Events. Recent solar eclipse as people find. Go have a word with them, lass. See what's what. So let's see what we're hearing from Knock, shall we? More about him. George, you always have to say something about him, don't you? Your Highness, there is something transpiring outside the city. May want to go yourself. It seems your goblin ally has been industrious again and fashioned some weird sort of something. Besides, it may be best if you go see for yourself. Oh, we can do that.
Quick, quick, else we miss all the fun!
I suppose with 3 days left, we've got time to go there and back. Which we might as well do. Take my friends with me. I think all this started when I'd lost my friends and had to find them. I joined the Pathfinder Society. And all this came afterwards. Well, you've got Lamashtu shrines here. Are you putting up your statue too? That's fine if you are. Looks like it. Knock Knock is standing proudly regarding the statues before you. The statues are strangely ghastly and majestic at the same time. Two figures fashioned from cobbled bits of stone and wood. Something that might be either mud, plaster, or, judging by the smell, something from the cistern. The statue on the right looks vaguely like a giant version of Knock Knock. The other looks to be something, maybe an Asimar, but it is of equal height to the figure on the left. Broken glass from what you strongly suspect might have been a castle window rings the Asimar's fingers like a Asimar figure's head, like a crown. As you study the two odd-looking statues, Knock Knock notices you and smiles. You built a statue of yourself right near the city. Knock Knock shakes his head and snorts. No, look harder. He frowns. Harder, see? With a flourish, Knock Knock points to a twisted massive chunk. Two heroes. Me, big hero. He nods at one of the figures. With other, smaller big hero. He nods to the ramshackle crown figure on the right, towering the same size as Knock Knock's statue. You. Both of us heroes together. He nods, then continues as if it's self-evident. All heroes have statues, but no inscriptions, words. He shudders and makes a semicircle in the air, as if to ward off evil. I like it. Knock Knock nods proudly. Of course I like it. It's perfect. He appraises the two judges. The two statues, judging them side by side. Even got height right. I'll let you have your way this time. Knock Knock suddenly sends you, mimicking what you realise is the pose the statues are in. Ready to stab, just point the way. Two heroes against big beasts of stolen lands. He pauses, then leans in. But you handle bigger beasts. Knock Knock watch. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
We should prepare. I'll go ahead.
Where's the exit? There. There we are. Head back to town to continue wading. Knock Knock, after all his life as a disabled goblin, finally has something to be proud of. Good on him. For intrigued success, the treasurer perished under mysterious circumstances. Hang on, Last Waltz Cavalry? Isn't that you? Yes, it is. The finest assassin in the world of magic. $24, almost missed it. Ask a little gift. Swift blow, thank you. Go to the tavern. Wrong one. There it is. Looks like our moon. I'd like to know what leaving our path means to her. And more importantly, how all this is related to the story of the gnomes. I hope we're about to find out. Jubilos clears his throat to attract her attention. A girl with unusual silver-grey hair is looking gloomily into a mug of ale. As she notices Jubilos clearing his throat, she raises her face and brightens. Oh, they told me that the King of Blooming Dales walks the streets and feasts with everyone in the taverns, but I never believed it. Don't forgive me, Your Highness. I'm Luna Katari. You have an unusual name. I was born with bright silver hair. Midwives never saw an Asimar before. They were frightened. But my mother, not a bit. Said the daughter's hair was silver like the moon, which meant I was blessed by Desna, hence the name. Actually, I've always been drawn to faraway countries, like anyone touched by the moon goddess, but I never been beyond the river kingdoms, Luna's eyes. Tell us about yourself. I'm a messenger. I deliver correspondence from Brevoy to Mibon and back. There's your path. Moon's path. Usually reports about a rich merchant's underlings and orders for them. My parents live in Brevoy and the girl I love in Mibon. I've always dreamed of becoming a traveller, but that's not easy for the daughter of a weaver and a washerwoman. I was glad to find this messenger job though. I thought that was pretty lucky. But now I'm travelling the same road over and over again every month. I even sit right here in your tavern for the 24th of every month, right on schedule. The monotony is driving me to tears, but what can I do? I can't be everywhere at once, and I can't stand the thought of settling down. Jubilos, who was listening surprisingly carefully, leans over to you. Do you see it now? When the moon leaves a path, it's another part of the riddle. Looks like we need to somehow convince our new friend to quit her well-trodden path and set off somewhere new. Plus, it would be good for her. The same road each month. If I were her, I'd have drowned myself long ago. If I didn't bleach sooner. If this life troubles you, something should change. Your family and friends want you happy, not exhausted and hating your existence. You speak with such confidence. Is it true that you came to the Stone Lands and no one and made yourself king by your own persistence and skill? I've heard so many stories, Your Highness. I wouldn't have taken this opportunity, this advice from anyone other than you, but I've just decided. I'm going to travel, and I hope not alone. We'll be sure to earn a piece of bread together. Please take this. It's a relic my family received from an elven ancestor. According to the family legend, the one who deciphers the map will find three things: an incredibly sad secret, a true treasure, and a door to another world, which will never open again. The entrance to a certain dungeon is marked here, but there's nothing to say where to go looking. You're a king, and with the best scientists and travellers serving you, surely they'll be able to read this map. Thank you again. Now I have to go. Well, there you go. We've got a little bit of a map here. True treasure hunt for you there, Mr. Gnome. Moon has left a path, but now who can explain to me why the horse didn't simply tell us, go to the dungeon located here? Make us run around in circles? Why make us run around in circles? Let's have a look at the map. What do we have here? Why, I recognise the area around the Candlemere at first glance. There are ancient ruins in this area. The dungeon must contain the traces of the very first gnomes to visit Galarian. Well, our goal is clear. Now we need only achieve it. Down to 43,000. And we need to leave. I think we need to take Jubilost with us. Critical with bomb. Draw critical wounds. Missed well. It's a mutagen. All that. Elemental body, I guess. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Polymorph someone. So we're over to Candlemere. Days to the curse, and something's happening in the castle. New event. Light from a god. A large group of fugitive slaves from Rasmiran approach the border. Tristan, handle it, will you?
Step, step, step!
What's this? A flickering shadow stands before you, trembling and chanting something indistinct. In its silhouette, you barely recognize the figure of a gnome girl dressed in rags. No, we need to try again. The door will open. Who are you, Ghost? The ghost seems not to pay any attention to you. I promised them to open this door, to return everyone home. Bursting into a long and bleak laugh, the ghost makes a move as if she wants to run away, but then freezes and gives you an eerie, attentive look. Who am I? I'm Zay, a wizard. I'm the one who brought everyone here, this place, once the Lantern King himself opened the gate from East Dominion to Galarian here. He abandoned this road, but I thought I could open the portal again, or ask for help from the eldest. Return all of us home. I was wrong. The door didn't open. We all lost colour one by one. See, one of the gnomes from the First World, what happened to you? Zay's ghost. The ghost lets out a strange sound, half moan and half laughter. I lived a long life there in the First World, many long lives. I travelled, I created, I danced upon the edge of the abyss and fell into the clouds. I died to be born again, with none of my strengths and skills, but with all the memories and wonders I'd seen. But eternity can become tedious, even for a soul that's forever young. Many older gnomes suffered it even before we knew it. Knew what the bleaching was. Sooner or later, there's not enough novelty anymore. So we all grew fascinated with a new game, death. The old question, would you like to live forever? I think for most of us, ultimately, it might be no, we wouldn't. One of the eldest created it. Of course, he was just borrowing it based on observations of the true gods. He drew a string from the River of Souls and created his own little circle of births, deaths, and judgments, imitating all the almighty Pharasma. He judged the souls that he owned and determined their further paths. It was so new, so exciting. So prone to pouring water all over myself. Oh well. No harm done. Many gnomes volunteered. It is just water, so... If not us, then who? But those who take from the Goddess of Death must be ready for further consequences. The Lady of Graves brought her wrath upon the eldest. He was stripped of his power and forever doomed to serve in her court. And we gnomes were torn from the First World and bound to the River of Souls, like all creatures of the material plane. Thereafter we lived like the rest, died like the rest, and learned all the pain of the bleaching. Our game had become our reality, and no longer could we tire of its fun and return to one another. Or return to another one. Jubilost looks at the ghost shaken. It seems to be one of those rare moments that the gift of speech is lost to him, but this is not at all how I supposed it happened. The spectres there, I understand that your condition does not allow for long conversations, but perhaps you could tell me... The ghost listened to him with ear attention. Of course I could. I could do many things. I tried many ways to open the portal. Everything except to sacrifice. A little blood would come in handy.
Carve my name onto your flesh.
Okay, so we've got ghosts attacking us now. Not that they'll last long. Little fear. Oh dear. Now, what were you saying? The ghost freezes, holds herself by the shoulders and sways back and forth, repeating over and over, I promised, I promised, I promised. That's rather a foolish performance, little ghost. You've staged a fine series of foolish performances. The playing of the game of death, contacting the eldest yet known, an eldest not yet known for his mercy, trying to open the door that leads nowhere. But who are we addressing? Greetings, Yorkie le Fey. And of course you, most persistent of researchers, we see you solved our riddle. Jubilost folds his hands on his chest. We did. I might still fail to understand why you sent us the long way round, instead of just telling us everything from the beginning. Some truths must be discovered to be known, others seen with your own eyes. The host nods at the pile of gnome bones and the shivering ghost. Is what they told us true? About the game of death and Pharasma's punishment, yes. One of our eldest brothers thought he could steal from a deity, and the gnomes that answered his call thought they could play death. Death decided otherwise. Is there any way to change what happened and help the gnomes? If there is, we know nothing of it. The eldest can do many things, but as you both know, it's not enough to confront a deity, especially one such as Pharasma. We have learned our lesson and do not play with toys of others. Does that mean this was all in vain? Of course not. The journey is often more important than the destination. Be satisfied with the secret you've won. Today I can simply be satisfied with something I'll bleach. He's probably right there. You say we learned our lessons, so you're one of the eldest, host. You hear laughter from under the hood. Oh, we're tired of answering this question, but and the many others that follow it. Ask us again next time, especially since the next time for you will be one of the first times for us. Why are you here? The right question at last, as I suspect you've realised. There's no way to save all the gnomes from the bleaching. You cannot return them to the first world and restore their connection to their homeland. And even if there were a truly sufficiently desperate and powerful creature ready to do it, their actions will not be looked upon mercifully by the Lady of Graves. Though it cannot be done for all, it can still be done for one. We are ready to offer this gift as a token of our appreciation for your exciting adventure and your solution to the riddle. Do you hear, Sir Jubilost? You personally may become reconnected with the First World. You won't be entirely protected from death if you remain on Galarian, but you will be forever spared from the bleaching. Whenever you visit the First World, which we are aware you desire passionately, then you'll be as immortal as any Fey. Jubilost fixes his glasses nervously. The only chink in his nonchalant facade. If this gift cannot help the whole gnome race, then I have no need of it. Of course I'm not immune to vanity, but I've always been ready to share the burden of mortality with others who bear it on their shoulders. I'll even keep wearing these stupid glasses. I'll survive without the immortality of the First World and face the bleaching when it comes, as all gnomes have done for me. It's one of the most important decisions of your life. Do you do what you think is right? Then I'll hold true to my first instinct. I do not need the gift. We aren't easy to surprise, but you managed it very well. A rejection into rejection, but gifts from the eldest are not so easy to withdraw from the world. They must find an owner somewhere, one way or another, so what should we do? Well then, help Zay. She deserves some peace. That's a worthy idea. What do you say, host? Let me just check something. That's worthy idea. What do you say, host? Can you grant the host the ghost peace instead of giving me immortality? 1,000-year-old insane ghosts again? Well, why not? But we will do much more than simply give her peace. You'd be surprised how little difference there is between nowhere and here and now. She'll open her door just when she was always meant to. You rejected the gift, Jubilos Narthropple, but we will not leave without any reward at all. We offer a trifle, a chance to sometimes glimpse eternity in the corner of your eye, just as we do. Now you can remember the history of things. Those who wander searching for mysteries and ancient relics might find this skill useful. And now, farewell. When you finally succumb to the bleaching, you may remember this moment. I wonder what you think then. Only time knows. And that's where I have to take a real life break. I will be back as soon as I can. In the meantime, let me present you with some clicker fun. That's not what I want to click on. As I back out. I will be back as soon as I can. And we're back. Sorry, that was a rather long gap, but sometimes real life demands that you go for a while. So, we're back. And Jubilos sacrificed to help save from the First World. Nice of him, eh? I guess he's not always curmudgeonly. Let's head home. We're very close to where we'll be able to go to the Bald Hilltop again.
A rest would be welcome.
My life is a burden.
Oh, Valerie. Yorkie le Fey were fighting crime in our lands and the bandits are running scared. In fact, many of them have already come clean and returned civilian life. They insisted it was starvation that led them down the slippery slope, but now the kingdom is prospering, they want to return and do honest work. Their families are flooding us with petitions for pardon. I consider it inappropriate. You can't pardon highwaymen and murderers and let them live in peace among their victims. Every single one of them must answer for their crimes. You work it out, Valerie. Let them turn themselves in and face fair trial for their deeds. There'll be no general pardon. Fair enough. Tracking the path of the Wild Hunt, a success. Competition, a success. Reaping Death, impassable thickets full of... Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Sort it out, cut them back, Reggie.
My life is a burden.
Quick rest. And then hopefully we can go to the Bald Hilltop. Step on out and see what's what. Here we go.
Shall we move? We shall move. So many thoughts, so little time.
Mass Balls. Big Claw. Big Claw. Little Claw. Fire Belly. That's... Was that Fire Belly? No, that was Fairy Fire. Oh well, never mind. Fire Belly's there. Clicked on the wrong one. Mass Bears. Death Ward just in case on us front runners. Oh, I left him in. I didn't mean to do that. Stick one on. Whoa. And then
Everyone
on.
counts on me.
you get that on. It gives all blur. Mass cats. Big size the animals. What else? Oh yeah. He's got a bump to his belt, so best rather. All good there. Got mass cat. Looks good.
I will not falter.
Mass owl. Mass eagle. Protectors from acid. Oh, that's protection from good, etc. Protection from acid, because we're probably going to end up using that cloud. And fire's probably the next best. Archon's aura. All good.
I always have the upper hand.
Bowling infusion, which is good. You got that. And you got the shield. Give yourself stone skin. Now, you can give good hope. What? That's not what I asked you to do. What are you... Okay. Resist cold, no.
Yes.
Let's see, enlarged person, no. You can have a shield. Make our pets blurry.
Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino.
Greater mutagen, dex and strength. And I think we're going to give you focusing surge. It's fine. And that will do.
They should have known better.
Oh, nice. Rocker. Ooh, we got some bad swarms here. Let's get some speed on. Okay.
Die! Die! Let the attack commence!
You missed. Let's throw down some Undead, shall we? Actually, let's have a bless. I don't think I did bless. It's gonna be painful. Ben. Mud slick. You be lost? Fire. $39 damage. Oh. Rock hard. Oh, that's a swarm. Okay. Swarm's down. And we've got a primal tree ants. 2 primal tree ants. Elfwagon. Right, we have some fire over there. Leopard. I forgot to do the thing, didn't I? Can we get some undead down? Thought we had undead. Maybe not. Can we get some acid cloud? You're done. Right, you are doing your mudslide, aren't you? I do it. Well, he didn't like that one. Should be lost. Nice. Well, let's take this on. You missed. He's almost down. Why is my barbarian attacking me? And now we got Marquis Dazzle Light, which means we got electricity coming out. Will Fireball hit him, I wonder? What is that? No, it just hits that. Well, we want it down anyway. It's good. Move up. Round.
Your death awaits.
Jubilost. Can you hit Dazzle Light? We really need you. Yes, you can. Well, that didn't do you no good now, did it? Didn't do you no good either. Didn't realise you couldn't get up there, just had to go around. Can we turn you? No, he's immune.
Unimosi tradisi.
I'll loot your corpse.
You missed. You're not going to do much corpse looting if you miss. I hate to tell you this. And we got him. No nymph this time, by the look of it. Unless we're mistaken. Hang on, let's... Oh, they weren't dead yet. Get to Bald Hilltop, that's done. Unfortunately, she's completely dead now. It's not good. So we really do need Raised Dead at this point. Resurrection would be even better. Reggie? Oh no, it couldn't die. I'm sorry. Those bullets are gone, all dead, but the peasants have begun to complain about other wild animals and bandits. Seems that without the bullets, the other threats become more numerous. That's not surprising me. But of course, wolves and bandits are better than giant monsters. But now there's a new concern. I've heard several complaints about the slums on the outskirts of the capital. They say only thieves and beggars live there. They say that we should tear down their huts. Ah, beautification. Or gentrification. No, where's the best way to go? The city would be cleaner, Eggenchick said, but the poor have nowhere to go. Exactly. They'll just find a new place, build new huts even shabbier than before. My advice, lift up the slums from the mud. Hire those who work there as builders. Teach them to dig wells. I am loving this advice. Renovate the slums, my friend. Leaping Death was a success. Ordinary Nature Advice was a success. Nothing new there. And now we're into where we can get people promoted. Which is what we're going to focus on right now. Level 7. Finest assassin in the world, Triumph. Nicely done. Arcane, plus 15, that was nice. Last Wall's Cavalry. Seal the deal with the Administrator, nice. Population census, oh well. The Full-Blooded Triumph. The High Priestess servants uncovered a whole network of vampires. Well, we've sorted that out. Aggressive expansion now, yep. Strengthened Storyteller. Rank up, we can do Priestess at 18. We can do 18, no we can't do you yet. Warden at 13. You're the one who needs to be promoted right now. Test of Steel. Another Sword Lord tournament's about to be held in Mivon. Reggie, that should be a breeze for you. Majesty wants an audience. Lindsay brought an invitation. Treasurer requests your attention. Strengthen Mega, which we're not really using, but that's fine. Hi, Lindsay. Lindsay excitedly waves around a letter written in neat handwriting on expensive stationery. I have news. Take a look. Irabeti, King of Pitax, sent you an invitation to the Rushlight tournament. We're not going to miss it, right? And you're taking me, of course. All the high society of Pitax will be there, including people from the academy. Maybe even Headmaster Atelier Guteran. I'd love to see her face when she hears about the book Professor Earbold is writing with me. What's his tournament? Irabeti holds once in several years. Guests come from all the nearby kingdoms. Vipon, Gralton, Brevoy. I haven't been there personally, but I hear it's a lot of fun. What can you tell me about Pitax and its king? Well, imagine a roadhouse full of pirates, mercenaries, smugglers, spies, and other gentlemen of fortune. They're drinking to their success, talking business, buying, selling, hiring, choking, buying. Now take this roadhouse and imagine the size of a kingdom. That was Pitax before Irabeti. Now imagine some unknown bard enters the roadhouse, pulls off a few shady deals, and suddenly becomes its owner. Everything is the same as it was before, but now the walls are covered with portraits of the owner. A brass band plays music every night. A juggler with a pet bear walks around the room. Gnome strippers dance on the tables. Barmen sell a variety of racy substances from Numeria beyond its beer. That's Pitax now. So it's got worse then. Wait, Irabeti holds it once in several years. Why did he wait to now to invite me? How would I know what goes on in Irabeti's head? Maybe he just thought you weren't important enough as a baron. Now you're a bona fide king. That's fair. You sure it's not a trap? It's certainly possible. There's definitely some catch here. This is Irabeti we're talking about after all. But I doubt he tried to kill you at his own festival with business partners from all over the neighbourhoods. Or neighbours present. He's more likely to try and sell you a deal or another. So keep your eyes and ears open and don't sign anything. Okay, I'm going to have to step away for just a few minutes. So I'll set the clicker up again, just to run it through. Irabeti can go straight to the Abyss with the tournament, right back. Oh, interesting. Well, if I have the time, why not? Great, trap or no, it'll be a lot of fun. But he will take me with me, play the praise? Yep, absolutely. Octavia. Disturbed by terrifying noises and flashes of colour, so no big deal, right? People became fed up with your outcase mistake. Okay. Windows all oh dear lord. Allegedly it made the streets smell like a wet goblin's hide for a whole week. They're amazingly well versed, these accusers. I understand just how difficult it can be to live alongside mages and alchemists, but if we forbid their experiments, the magical potential of our kingdom will surely dwindle. If we limit their freedom to research, we'll clip our mages' wings and they won't be. Therefore I think we should use their help. Sure, they must continue. Alright. There's a lot of them. Jubilos, just tell me what you want. You're willing to pay a generous fee. I trust your advice. I really don't need gifts right now. Oh, and I clicked on the wrong thing. Damn it. Come on, come on, come on. Right, hurry up. Shania, stop bowing and just give me the gift. Come on.
Iravetti, king of Pitax, invited our king to a tournament. But why? A demonstration of neighborly amiability, perhaps? Unlikely. The ruler of Pitax was renowned for his devious...
And that's where we'll pick it up in just hopefully a few minutes. Let me just switch. Right. We are officially back. And we're starting the next chapter. And I'll be right back again. Okay. Officially, we are back. Sometimes life is frustrating. Could be worse, could be a lot worse. Okay. Lindsay brought an invitation, we know. Manchester asked for an audience. Treasurer requests your attention. The Rushlight Tournament. Time to visit Pitax. Support the Treasurer trade agreement. Take that. Gain protection. Compulsions, we'll take that. Okay. We have the Rushlight Tournament. Former friends. Many of Brevoy's patriots dislike the fact that these lands become independent state. I reckon with a little help you can do that, Lindsay. Xavier and Reggie want to talk? Of course they do. Visitor waits in the castle. Remember those books from Maestro Janish's study? We'd hoped to find something about our past in them. Well, we did, and I'm kind of sorry we looked. We actually found something, but it's a sensitive conversation. We'll wait for you in the palace garden near the viewing point. That can wait. No matter what curse the denizens of the First World cast upon us, no matter what cruel tactics they use, you repel them with all valour. Bravo, your highness. I accept this humble gift as a sign of gratitude from your subjects. Whatever Nerissa has planned, I'm sure we can handle it. Each of our attacks is stronger than the last, but we're getting stronger too. Tristan's whisper is barely audible. In any case, it won't be long. Can we use a portal on Bald Hilltop to get to the First World? Alas, not yet. Okay, well you don't need to go into long details. Such a portal is unreliable for denizens of the First World. Okay. Let's prepare for the next attack. Dragon, go away! Right. Don't need you. Do need you. No, we're doing you later. Just take you right now. You can replace this mage, which means I can get you back. Boost what Lindsay has. Add 11. Critical with... Oh, I forget which she's using. Do rapid shot. Core sphere, not really relevant now. The invisible communal. 12. Then all of these boosted. Serenity, why not? 13. Any shot, that's fine. Haste, useful. All of them to, well, anyone to have. In case I end up with them the only ones in there. Joyful Rapture. And Phantasmal Web. Right. We're heading to the Rushlight. Support, that's all rank up stuff. Let's just click on them so that we don't see a false new quest thing here. There's the Rushlight field. So we're over here.
A rest would be welcome.
Who's on the road?
My life is a burden.
Bandits. Oh, that was quick and easy.
My instincts dull when I'm tired.
There has to be a crossing somewhere. Try to avoid. There we are. Right, let's rest. I'm going to regret to greet you personally. The bulky Khalid is broad-shouldered and looks to be somewhere around 50 years of age. His golden crown sits on long greasy hair above his heavily powdered face, covered in bristle, and his expensive doublet is stained with oily spots. He guffaws as he squeezes you in a bear hug, enveloping you in a mixed sense of sweat, wine, and expensive perfume.
Well, my crown-bearing brother, welcome to my home.
You
Stuff
live in a field?
yourself, drink, be my guest. You've proven yourself in combat as well as affairs of state. Let's see how you do at having fun.
I'm happy to finally meet you.
It's no good for kings and queens to stay in palaces all the time. We need to meet, be friends with one another. It's all about keeping up neighborly relations, you know.
Absolutely.
So here's the plan. First, the Fish's Triathlon. Then a boasting contest. And in the evening, the best part, a drunken melee. In the interim, there'll be a buffet, a fair, jugglers, acrobats, all the usual entertainment. And after the melee, I'll announce the winner. And then we'll have a festive banquet and a fireworks show. Then we just drink till morning or find a tent to crawl into. Your own or someone else's, depending on your luck. By the way, a knockout such as yourself will always be welcome in my tent.
Well, thank you.
Just a joke.
I appreciate the compliment, but you're not exactly my type.
Oh, and one more thing. I'll have to seal your sheath. This is a peaceful celebration, after all, and bullies will be kicked out immediately. It doesn't matter if it's a king who decided to kick up a row or just a shopkeeper. So behave yourself and don't start any fights while
And of
you're
course.
Well, I have to go. If you need anything, talk to Nunzio Arpaia. He's my master of ceremonies, so he's responsible for organizing this mess. Have fun.
Well, I intend to. Do I need to talk to Italia Gitteran for her? 209 days until the next part of the curse. And I need to talk to Nuncio. Do we see anyone on the map by those names?
Trail me. Time becomes distance.
I'm sure they won't mind if we just help ourselves, things that have been left lying around.
Step, step, step! Forwards! No, no, backwards. Backwards!
Something there.
Step, step, step!
Oh, there's Italia. Lindsay, you want to talk to her? Greetings, Your Highness. I'm Italia Gutteran, Headmaster of the Academy of Grand Arts. Welcome to the tournament. Is this your first time here? I'll be honest, I'm delighted to see what you've done with Bloomingdale's. Not so long ago, it was little more than a hole in the ground. But you brought it real civilization. Bravo! Lindsay has some interesting news for you. Yes, Professor Leopold found refuge in our capital. You know what? He's writing his memoirs of his time in the academy. I'm sure it'll be an interesting read for everyone in Pitax. No, all of Avistan. A book, you say? How brave of him. I hope he doesn't neglect to include the details of his dismissal. Tally's voice is ice cold and bone dry. What details? What do you mean? Erebecca kicked Professor Leopold out for just being too smart, didn't he? I'm sure that's exactly how we described it. They call him the insightful for a reason, after all. Anyway, forgive me. I have no interest in discussing this topic further. If you'd like to exchange idle gossip, I'm sure you can find much more willing and interesting company here. I'm sure you know to whom I'm referring. Well, we've talked to her for you, Lindsay. Anime Bellabera.
Time becomes distance.
Alright, that's fine. I must be going. I could pay 1,000, I suppose. I've got it. I do have 18,000. Trader. Okay. Agamat guests.
I spy? What do I spy?
Couple of books. Let's just run around until we've got everything. Bigger map than I thought it was going to be, actually. There's Nunzio. Ray. Oh, there's Anamede. Oh, Yorkie le Fey, the famed Baron, no, excuse me, King of Bloomingdale's now, has come to visit us. It's such a delight to see you here. Maestro Belabra, well, do you remember me? Lindsay blurts out, turning bright red. Ah, Lindsay, of course I remember you. You and your nonsense at the poetics exam. I hear you have your very own publishing house now. I didn't take you for the entrepreneurial sort, but I'm happy you finally found your calling. Tell me, are the songs you've composed for Erebeti as bold as the ones you sang at my capital? Have my humble fairnesses so offended you that you still recall their sting? Please, your highness. It doesn't behoove a person of your standing to take umbrage against a petty bard. Don't you know the old proverb, the tunes are chosen by the one who pays the piper? So, Erebeti then. I believe Lindsay has a question for you. Oh, I just hope it isn't about any of the lectures I used to give you at the academy. Go ahead, ask away. Lindsay turns bright red, takes a deep breath and blurts out, sorry, but I really need to know the truth. Why did Erebeti kick Professor Beerbald out of the academy? Oh yes, he did move to your kingdom, didn't he? I'm curious how he portrayed his dismissal. I bet it's something like a poem in 6 verses recounting the tale of the tyrant ousting a poor but honest scientist for telling the truth. The reality is much more mundane. Erebeti didn't fire Earbald. Atalia did. And I have to give it to her. This time, unlike most times, she was completely right. That can't be. Why did she expel Earbald? Well, Earbald is a very fine teacher, of course, but he pays too much attention to how his favourite students perform in class, and not enough to their extracurricular activities. Why worry if they steal a trinket here or there? Or maybe rough someone up on occasion, so long as their poetry and music are exemplary. Predictably, this led to a sad end, which was supposed to be just another innocent joke from one of his favourites, Alondi. Led to someone's death. It was an accident, certainly. The kids just underestimated their own strength. Atalia expelled a lot of them, and as always, Earbald went to stand up for them. But this time he discovered that her patience was not boundless. She blamed him and said he'd let his troublemakers run wild, so he could get out of the academy along with them. She told him she won't tolerate any more bullying, even if it's coming from genius students. I understand it's odd to hear won't tolerate from Atalia Gitteran, but that's what really happened. Pale, Lindsay looks at Anamede with huge eyes, unable to utter a word. Erebeti didn't banish Earbald, then why did he send those cutthroats after him? He planned to return the old man to Pitax and make Atalia reinstate him into the academy, or failing that, he at least wanted to keep him from going to you. Earbald Insightful is a prominent name. Of course, Erebeti would want the teacher serving him, rather than his neighbours. Why would Atalia hide the circumstances under Earbald's dismissal? She doesn't like to discuss the academy's internal affairs. Behind that neat facade, there are too many events. She's looked the other way over the years. All in good faith, of course. Yet, then why did she direct me to ask you, who she knew would say something? Thank you for telling us the truth. I'm not sure you should be thanking me. I see Paul Lindsay's not too happy with his truth. Hey, come on, girl, cheer up. Being disappointed by people is practically a professional necessity for people like us. Whatever else I may have said before, you're not a bad bard. And that means, sometimes, you have to face the music. But thank you. Alright. Farewell. Enjoy the celebration. I can't believe it. Teacher lied to me all this time. I'm going to learn the truth as soon as we get back to the capital. Yes, that's fine. You can. In the meantime, let's go talk to Nunzio, shall we? Talk to Earbald in his capital. Nunzio! Your Royal Highness, welcome to the Rushlight Tournament. My name is Nunzio Arpea, and I am the honour of being His Highness King Erebeti's Master of Ceremonies. You could say the organisation of this tournament relies on my shoulder. If you need anything, I'm at your disposal. I'm ready to join the Fishers Triathlon. Let's begin. Trumpets sounded over the arena, announcing the commencement of the Fishers Triathlon. We were to distinguish ourselves in 3 sports, if you could call them such. You'll be the judge, dear reader. The first round was fish carrying, if you believe it. They built narrow bridges over pits of mud and placed barrels on either end. On one side, filled with fish, on the other side empty. The goal was to get all the fish from one side to the other, barehanded, without falling in the mud. I'm sure this is just what you imagine for a royal tournament. Throwing fish at your opponents was prohibited. There was one unofficial and well understood rule in the tournament. Don't get caught. We had to decide which of us would participate, as well as how fair we wanted to play. We tried to cheat by discreetly throwing fish at our opponents. Competing honestly among such company would be more embarrassing than losing. As Abane ran across the bridge with heaps of fish in his arms, he deftly tossed a fish beneath the feet of the Grelton competitor, who slipped and fell in the mud. Another fish found its way right to the Daggermark competitor's forehead, sending him down alongside the Greltoner. The judges didn't notice a thing. We won the first round. The second round was untying knots. Competitors would be tied up on poles, resembling ship's masts, and they had to escape the ropes. We once again had a choice to make. We tried to cheat by sneaking a blade into the contest. Well, it's well known that if you can't untie a knot, you just cut it. Abane stealthily pulled a blade from his sleeve, while his competition struggled to escape their bonds. He jumped to the ground and triumphantly walked over to the judges. Not an honest victory, but a victory nonetheless. We'd won 2 out of 3 rounds. We seemed to have victory in the bag. But with the rivals we were dealing with, there was no time to relax. The last round of the tournament was diving for river pearls. Huge tubs were filled with mussels in river water. We'd have to open the mussels with our bare hands. Gather the pearls and deposit them in our team's jar. Of course, if playing fair wasn't a priority, we'd always try weighing down the jar with other things as well. Tried to cheat by slipping some pebbles into the jar. Abane bravely dove into the muddy water and started opening shells, breaking these nails in the process. He put fistfuls of pearls into his jar as fast as he could, slipping in an occasional pebble, pinch of sand, or dollop of mud. Once time was up, his jar was the heaviest, a victory for us. Soon we stood on the pedestal as the judges awarded our team victory. We were wet, muddy, and smelled of fish, but we grinned with joy all the same. Second tournament. $6,000 left, 5,000 some actually. Your Royal Highness, welcome. I'm ready to participate in the Bolstering Contest. Everybody's ready, let's begin. The tournament continued with a boasting contest. The first participant, a man from Daggermark, stepped up to the podium and told a raunchy story about him sneaking into the Temple of Calistria and seducing all the priestesses, including the High Priestess, in a single night. The crowd was particularly amused by the suggestive glance he kept casting towards one of the guests from Timon. She simply smiled mysteriously in response. The second participant was a guest from Drolton, who told a completely implausible tale about his travels across other planes, where he battled undead hordes and defeated a blood-curdling monster. He was an average storyteller at best. He'd be lucky to get a C for that story in the academy, but the listeners were inexplicably elated. Suspicious, we took a closer look at the crowd, and of course we spotted a bard using some tricks to trade, and likely a little magic to aid the Groltoner man's performance. Abane, I'm not saying you should do this. I'm saying you probably shouldn't. But you're going to anyway, aren't you? The bard collapsed to the ground, choking on his blood. By the time the crowd noticed we were long gone, needless to say, the audience's impression of the Grolton performance was ruined. Then it was Pitax's turn. The king's honour was represented by Animede Bellepera, a sweet-voiced singer whose smile could win over most withered of hearts. Oh, Animede, but while her voice was smoother than silk, her words stung like arrows. With a soft smile, Animede told everyone how she had spent numerous months in our kingdom, learning our secrets and instigating a riot. Of course, the honest trade of the bard and the shady dealings with the spy often go hand in hand. But oh, Animede, who could have expected such an ugly blow from such a lovely lady? She described in surprising and exceptionally critical detail how much the citizens of our young state suffered under the atrocities of the troll assaults and the magic plague. She never stooped to actual lies, but she made it sound as though our king, back at the time, was simply drinking and debauching while his subjects struggled. She made our crusade against Mordecai look like a cunning conquest of Varnhold, and the war with the Tiger Lords was characterised as an irresponsible venture. Talk about cruel and unfair. When Animede finished and left the stage, it was our turn to perform. What feats did our participant decide to tell the audience at the performance? In response to Animede's story, he recounted how he dealt with Tartuccio, another of Rivetti's spies. Looking meaningfully at Animede, Lindsay spoke of the sad fate that befell the last of Rivetti's spies, and what may be in store for any other spies we might come across. The audience hung on her every word, sometimes laughing uncontrollably, sometimes holding their breath to avoid missing anything. Lindsay finally brought the story to an end, and the viewers gave her a standing ovation as she left the podium. The woman from Timon, a priestess of Calistria, went last. She told stories about love affairs in faraway countries and on other planes, casually mentioning an unpleasant disease she'd contracted over her journeys that took her a long time to get rid of. Hearing that, the participant from Daggermark paled and grabbed at his belt, bringing roaring laughter from the rest of the audience. And finally, the judges announced the winner, Lindsay! She walked up to the podium to thunderous applause and took another bow.
Forwards? No, backwards! Backwards!
Oh, we need to go up here.
At first I said, no, I can't.
Unimosi travisi.
Insisted, but I should. I need that to survive.
Unimosi
Agreed
travisi.
to do it. Oh, it's so work. You
Magritio
silly smell.
Murinos. Sashani Savitur. Unimosi travisi. Unimosi travisi. Ona Adayana. Unimosi travisi.
Nuncio. Actually, there's one more I want to do first. Become a fire elemental. I'm ready to participate in the drunken melee. Then let's begin. It will be splendid. Oh, I'll light the field up, I'm sure. Oh, okay.
I'll carve my name onto your flesh.
Oh, we can't do that.
Die! Die! Die!
You're coming in at me. That's fine. Let them beat each other up. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm not allowed to do that. So. Oh, it's just you.
The attack! Let's shred them! May I see your entrails, please? Burn! Slice! Behead! Yes, behead.
You're getting some hits in, which I don't like. I don't think I can use any of this, can I? It's all bloody banned, isn't it?
Die! Die!
Well?
Let the attack commence.
Got him. Alright, let's learn the results, shall we? King Innovesi, where are you? I'd like to know who won. And it's just about, look, everyone's gathering around now. And that kicks off the speech.
Lords and ladies, another Rushed Light tournament has come to an end. I'd like to thank all of you who honored this event with your presence. My friends, I'm happy to see all of you, but I'd like to give a special welcome to one guest who found themselves invited here for the first time. Today, we had the Baron, no, excuse me, it's King now, isn't it? Of a majority of what was once the stolen land.
Well said, no longer is.
Thank you for coming, my darling. I can call you that, right?
We all have our
I
little
thank you
peccadillos.
with all my heart.
Good to be here.
I first learned of him from my friend Stefano Mosconi. To be honest, his report was less than flattering. Impassable swamps, monsters galloping about, and a complete absence of any valuable resources. Nothing more than a dirty hole ruled by another bandit lord, hardly worthy of your attention. That's what he wrote back then. I'm so happy he was wrong.
To be fair, my friend, he wasn't that wrong back then. I'd just taken over. I turned it around. I took that and made it a kingdom.
Truth be told, even now traveling that domain is a less than pleasurable experience. Some roads have appeared, but their safety leaves much to be desired. Take the sad story of a poor Toman Henvaki from Gralton. He set off to those lands and hasn't been seen since. His brother Adrist went to find the poor fellow, and what happened? He returned empty-handed.
Well, they
Toman
died
seems
on
to
lands
have
that weren't
vanished
mine.
into thin air, like hundreds of travelers before him. At least Adrist was lucky, I suppose. He managed to come back alive. That's certainly considered fortunate for those who decide to swing through those lands. And the hunt the Baron put on, clearly imitating my tournament, it was beyond description. While guests were out hunting hydras and owl bears, the latter came from behind and ate at the banquet table, along with all the servants. Some celebration, right?
I too have a most amusing story for you. This ring was given me by a gnome named Tartuccio that bloody night when Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori's mansion was attacked. Yes, listen to your tale with mouths agape. Everybody tried to interrupt you, but everyone's attention is directed at you.
A most amusing story indeed. Unfortunately, it has little to do with me. True, that rascal Tartuccio was spending my money, but he was acting entirely of his own volition.
Of course he was. You guys began whispering to each other, obviously dissatisfied with the Libetti's excuses.
All I really wanted to get at was that His Highness is a personage truly as extraordinary as his lands, and I'm happy to see him at this celebration. And now it's time to announce the winner of the tournament. This year, all 3 contests were won by guests from one kingdom. I'm not sure what charms, tricks, or divine intervention helped him, but let's hear it for the winner! Your Highness, if you please. I know you're not exactly a master of ceremonies, but please try to say something articulate to my guests.
Your Highness, dear guests. Attending this tournament was a great honour, and a true pleasure. I thank you all for an unforgettable day. Despite Libetti's efforts to smear you in the eyes of the guests, the audience is elated. Your speech garners a hearty round of applause.
And now, with the competition over and the prize awarded, let's get on with the main part of the celebration. The banquet! I can hear your stomachs growling from here. Let's get to the table, and later we'll see an unforgettable fireworks show.
I've forgotten it already. Right. Let's go back to the to our castle in our capital and see what Lindsay's got to say.
A rest would be welcome.
Alright, so we have a bit of a fight.
I see blood. Blood!
see what's
would
going
be
on
nice,
here.
don't you think?
Rushlight tournament's begun, and now it's over. Tristan has some news, does he?
My instincts dull when I'm tired.
Oh, that's fine. We have a long journey ahead of us, but we'll get there. The hero's reward. I think. Actually, Tristan, why don't you do that? Alright, we're there. Let's go in. Sorry if I dozed a minute there. In we go.
My life is a burden.
Professor, I can't believe you lied to me this whole time. Don't try and deny it, I've heard everything. How you covered for bullies, how it wasn't even a Retty who fired you, it was Talia. How could you? Lindsay, please calm down. I didn't deceive you. You've never even asked about these circumstances of my dismissal, remember? It's a, sensitive subject. I may not have been a good enough student to be one of your favourites like Alondi, but I do remember the basics, like the 7 types of lies. And I definitely remember your lecture on lies of omission. You wanted me to write a book about all the atrocities going on within the walls of the academy. You left out a pretty big one. You never told me a student died because of you. What other sensitive subjects have you been avoiding? Lindsay, I beg you, please let me explain. How much of what you and Lindsay wrote about the academy is actually true? There is no direct lie. I admit that in some cases I may have concealed or misrepresented some details to protect the innocent. But believe me, it was with noble intentions. Erebetti's atrocities are no secret to anyone. And this book may well bring about the fall of a tyrant, but I cannot allow the Academy to perish alongside Erebetti. There are too many innocents, wonderful artists, poets, and composers who've been tainted by Erebetti's crimes against their will. They stand to lose everything if we publish the truth in its entirety. What I want to protect is the little good that King Erebetti brought to this world. The Academy is more than just the wrongdoings and bullying. It's made up of many brilliant artists who have the potential change the world for the better. Should we freely trample flowers just for happening to grow out of a muck heap? Eobald, is this true? Yes, Your Highness, I'm afraid it is. As I devoted all my attention to developing the talents of my students, I fear I neglected their moral development, and this led to tragic results. But with all due respect to Headmaster Gitteran, I don't believe in incorrigible villainy, especially not at such a young age. Jillin teaches us not to renounce those who stumble, but to give them a chance to reform. I travelled to your lands in the hopes of a new beginning, for my students and for myself. Lindsay, what do you think? I don't know. Teacher, you told me so many times that the world isn't made of things, it's made of stories, and we ourselves are made of stories we tell and believe. But shouldn't those stories also be true? You said people are essentially animals who love stories. Did you really mean that people are just lying beasts? Well, what is the truth then? A precise statement of past events? We're not news hawks or historians, bound to precision for the sake of precision. A bard must take into consideration how a story will affect the audience. Truth and fiction are our materials. They're as valuable to us as rough marble to a sculptor. The same story used to evoke anger, envy or fear can be turned into inspire bravery, love and hope. Both versions told in full truth. The events at the base of the story aren't what's important. What's important is the lesson your listeners take from it. Lindsay turns to you baffled. I don't know what to do. I want to burn the manuscript, start over and write the whole dirty truth about the Academy, but maybe teacher is right and that would be a horrible mistake. Maybe saving the good Academy brings the good the Academy brings, more important than punishing everyone who's guilty. That's weird. It interprets lawful as, well, let the crimes go unpunished, and chaotic as let's hold people to the law and to the truth. I think you're right, Lindsay. Eobald, what about the student who died because of your favourites? No one will ever see his creations, and he won't be getting a second chance either. Eobald lowers his head. You're right, of course. Shellin teaches us value human life above art. Now let my eyes be clouded. Who am I to put the work of my favourite students before people's lives? How many creative artists does the world lack because we encourage their attackers? I'm sorry, Lindsay, you've taught your old teacher a lesson today. You'll rewrite the book. I'll tell you everything I know and everything I'm guilty of. I hope the new manuscript will take less poetic license, Eobald. I don't want to be disappointed again. I swear by Shellin's name I'll conceal nothing. If truth must see the light, then I'll ensure it does. If truth about the Academy destroys it, then there wasn't really anything there to save. Let's go, teacher. We have work to do. Lindsay turned to Alondia, and you, pack and leave. No, don't say a single word. I have no interest in your excuses or apologies. I just never want to see you again. Alondia shuts his mouth, swallowing his response before it started. With a single nod, he leaves without saying a word. Tristan remained silent for a long time. When he finally opened his mouth, his voice is hoarse and tired. I won't take much of your time, Yorkie le Fey. I've been meaning to ask you about something. This might seem stupid or arrogant, or just insolent. Tristan stumbled to catch his breath. I want to talk to you. I think you know what it's about. It's what I've done. And what I haven't done. The priest lowers his head and grows quiet. Well, let's speak in private, far from curious ears. I'll be at the viewing point in the palace garden. Please come as soon as you can. Kimo, you've got something for us. Thank you. Reset at 18. Region 18. Magister 16. Treasurer. Alright, so. Level 6 on the High Priestess. Trade of Dagmark done. Strengthen Mega's skill. Arcane protection from compulsions. High Priest seeks your advice. Level 8 for the Regent. Problem, failure. Oh well. Grand Diplomat could not compel the Brevoy nobility to reign in their subjects. The hero's reward, triumph. Got knowledge. You should be able to do something with that, Tristan. High Priest seeks your attention. Your kingdom grows more famous by the hour, and many hope to take advantage of this. Four gods are keen to lay their hands upon your domain, or to grant you their patronage, to be precise. Priests of Caden, Abadar, Gorum, and Osmodius have each offered to build temples in your capital. Each of them wants their god to be to win new followers in a young and strong kingdom. But they won't tolerate any rivals. Gods hate to share. Thus you must select only one god. I put my bet on Gorum. Caden is a reliable drunkard. Abdar and Asmodeus are alien to me by nature. I'm not sure I agree with you there, but let's see. Temple of Caden Kaelin. Alright, so you get a temple of one or other. Alright, Sana, I put you in the position of High Priestess. I'll trust you. And we'll make arrangements with the priest of Gorum. Erling, you got something for me? Rod of Undeath, thank you. Ocken, little something. Thank you. Divine protection. Support the Magister. Arcane rank 5 reached. Triumph in a test of steel. Contagious madness. Gang of Dark Fey from Uringen arrived in the capital. Sort them out, will you please? Population census. Maybe. Hunt the hunters. And Lindsay is terrified. See what you can do there. Regengar, let's see what you can do there. Regions. Claim the tours of Lebanese, that's possible. You're busy and you're busy. Strengthen the storyteller. Let's see what Lindsay wants. Lindsay's eyes glitter and her nostrils play with rage, but for some reason she speaks with a whisper. Such insolence, such unforgivable, monstrous, unimaginable insolence. What's going on, Lindsay? The royal throne, it... Lindsay stops whispering and silently points finger to the far side of the throne room. Oh, that's a thing? You raise your eyes, the place where the royal throne once stood is now empty. This is unexpected. I'm surprised by your self-control. If I were you, I'd go on a rampage. Shameless scum, how could they go and rob your royal palace with a king still alive and well? In fact, our case is blatant extraordinary, but hardly exceptional. Word on the street is that the local population has become sick and tired of thieves. They break into people's homes, bypass their locks and latches, and steal everything they can, and now the scum has the guts to meddle with royal property. We need to sort this out before they steal the whole kingdom, one brick at a time. And we need to get back your throne. It's shameful. Lindsay regains control of herself and continues in a low whisper. I really hope your people here won't go wagging their tongues and spreading filthy rumours. Where should we begin? You should start interrogating the potential witnesses. I think the captain of the guard was in the palace. He was the one who discovered it. Then you should go to the city. I heard the smith was recently robbed too. Maybe he can give some hope. Also, I talked to the trader. I assume we've got 3 of them. I assume you mean Hassab. You might have some hints as to whom would be selling stolen goods. Well, one more thing, don't forget to talk to the innkeeper. Alright, time to get going. Or not. We will be doing that, but not immediately. Nothing there. Regions. We've got knowledge of triumph. So busy. You're busy. The Wrath of the Forest. Woodcuts have encroached on a sacred grove, stoking the wrath of some treants who reside there. Thought it out, will you? Well, choking death, a devastating epidemic of air barriers, from air barrier has struck the local region. Jaethel, any chance of you fixing this one? That's expensive. Magister asks for an audience. Initially demands your attention. We've learned the name of the one who was plotting against you. It's an order man from Gralt. However, he's a major spy for Litron, Grey Gardener's capital in Gralt. I don't know what attracted him to us, but now we have him on the hook. We intercepted one of his letters. It contains a list of all Gralton spies in Litron. Oh, these greedy, crafty sorts. Entirely oblivious to the fragile barrier that separates them from the scaffold. My goodwill. Gralton would be happy to learn of this treachery among their ranks. What good would that do us? Would we gain their friendship and goodwill? At least a Dagmar rumour would pay its gold. It's Gralton's own fault they weren't watching their servants. But I suggest we allow the letter to proceed to its address in Litron. The Grey Gardeners now show themselves to be ungrateful. We'll be able to eliminate them. Go ahead then, that works. I'll be sure the Grey Gardeners know that their operation hung under discretion. Octavia? An amazingly impudent fellow, Yorkie le Fey. I've been approached by a wizard from Nex, who has learned to create golems from piles of literal junk, splints of wood, rusty nails, broken furniture. He asks your permission to set up shop in the capital and start selling these junk golems. In return, he promises to provide us with a few of his finer creations. Now, you may find this surprising, but I'm convinced we must reject his offer. Do you know how golems are created? A mage must ensnare a living spirit from one of the elemental planes. Alright, then we're not supporting any kind of slavery, etc. Chorel. So many arcanis and priests in the kingdom now, many of them new customers. Special gift, thank you. Scouting the eastern regions. Support the minister. Heroes reward you again, eh? Take care of it. Lindsay and the story have come up with an unusual idea. And we have 23 crisis points, we've got plenty right now. This is down near where old blood guy was. But these are dedicated to me and my dear Bloom Guardian, New Life's Land. I think we'll just leave that as is for now. Lindsay and the Storyteller. And then King Yorkie le Fey proudly said, "Your evil deeds end now. Or is it better as we've uncovered your vile plan?" Lindsay's trying to write something on the go. But she enveloped herself and looks up. "Oh, Your Highness, we have unbelievably, terribly important news. We managed to find out, discover, invent, well here." Lindsay points to Storyteller. "He'll tell you." Storyteller waits patiently until Lindsay finishes her ardent speech. "I will have to begin from afar to let you see what I saw with my blind eyes. The stolen lands are like a cradle in an abandoned house, in which the wind swings the skeleton of a child. No few newborn kingdoms have died here. Just after taking their first breath, I have collected their stories, these precious stars that have been lost to the dust, and I began to notice some commonalities. It's like a pattern that repeats across different embroideries, the handwriting of the same author across all their stories. One word here, another hint there. False visions, references to a mysterious patroness, lover, or mentor. Tragic coincidences, strangely non-random. Peoples and countries were brought to destruction, along different roads. But behind them has always stood the same ominous shadow. And we know what that shadow is, Nerissa. Name sounds ominous even in the mouth of a restless bard. The evil nymph sent monsters to our land and did all that stuff to Tristan. Yeah, but she's under pressure. You've got to give her some allowance here. But that's not even the most important thing. Most importantly, if you help us a bit, we can get her. What exactly are you going to do? The bards know how to send messages through dreams. I try not to use it. For some reason, people get mad when I appear in their dreams to read my new poems. I wonder why. Well, the storyteller came up with a ritual based on that spell. We'll collect everything connected to Nerissa, everything starting with her every track in the abandoned castle. After gathering everything, we'll unite his ability to tell stories with my ability to travel into dreams, so we'll be able to enter Nerissa's dream. Do we still have that amulet with a string of hair that she gave you before the battle? That'd be great. I'm not sure we do. What will we achieve? We'll learn all her evil secrets. Fine. I'll order you to be provided with everything. Alright. Now, let me just have a look at Rushlight Tournament waiting for news. Runaway Throne. Need to ask people. Path of Dreams. We have to wait. Priestess. Wrath of the Forest was a success. Population census, you didn't do well. Storyteller strengthened. High Priest seeks your advice. Strengthen Sana. Build a town. Strengthen Jod. Support the treasurer. Can't do that. Support the minister. Can't do that. Shania! Okay. Oh no, it's Sana. Yorkie le Fey, the idols you granted your protection are attracting dangerous cultists once again. We keep discovering blood and dead bodies. Guards have tried to root out the cultists, but the people are afraid to talk. They're doing a fine job, I'll give them that. I don't think we could persuade them to work for us. So why don't we tell the minister and to send killers after them and seize all their journals and books? Also, I advise against ordering the Grand Diplomat to summon the Inquisitors of Benevolent Gods. This investigation might bring to light other ominous cults that operate in your land. And we wouldn't want that now, would we? Sherelle, thank you. That work on the special thing. Believe me, I'll spare no time around. Good. Oh, sacrifice. Lindsay. Can't do it right now. Well, anyway. Right, everyone's busy. Well, rush like tournament waiting. Runaway throne, interview citizens. Path of dreams, help the storyteller. Alright, so let's back out. Tavern. Talk to our dear tavern keeper Elena about those thieves. Makes a curtsy like a lady in waiting. Welcome, Your Highness. I heard there's been a number of thefts in the town. Do you know anything about it? Of course I heard about it, Your Highness. Many houses have been robbed. And here's what's strange. No picked locks, no broken windows. How did the scoundrels get inside, huh? Those thieves are real masters of getting into other people's houses. And they steal whatever they find. At one house they stole silverware, at another they left money but took the children's toys. Strange thieves. Alright, well thank you.
Time becomes distance.
Main square. Now. Eileen should be up here with Valerie, I believe. See a stout man in radiance perfect calm. Yes, we know who he is. Captain of the City Guard. Liz said it was you who discovered that the throne was missing. Captain rose gloomy. Yes, Your Highness. He keeps silent for a moment and continues, obviously embarrassed. Actually, Your Highness, please don't think me a fool or drunkard. As I walked in the throne room, at first I thought it was a vision and didn't think much of it. Well, I thought I saw your throne in the corridor and it was running away. Not by itself, of course. I just couldn't see who was carrying it. Perhaps someone really tiny had got underneath it. And my, how they ran. It seemed the throne turned the corner by itself, but the sight was strange beyond belief. So I thought it was simply too tired and had started seeing things. A moment later, when I discovered it was really missing, I rushed after it, but it had vanished in thin air. Maybe it was, you know, magic. Okay, have a quiet shift. Riddle, the blacksmith, captain of the guard, Elena. So we've just had Riddle to talk to now. So not a hassle. You heard about theft plague in the city? Heard. Your Highness, I myself am a victim of these thieves. Stole my tools right from under my nose. I was in the backyard getting coal from my furnace. I heard some noise inside. I ran in. And the thief jumped right into a magic portal and vanished. I didn't even get a good look. Alright, well, thank you. Magic portal. Captain of the Guard. Varnhold the Blacksmith. Helena.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Right, we need to talk to... others. Tristan. You've come, Tristan tilted his head. So strange, I don't know. I should be glad or frightened anyway. Thank you for finding some time for me. Tristan said if it wasn't for these bland eyes, you would imagine he's looking into the distance. Since you freed me from Nerissa's power, I've had time to think about what happened to me and what Nerissa did to me, about what she truly did. When I found myself here, without my wings, in a mortal body, I was terrified. And I believed everything she told me, for I believed it was she who stole my freedom. At last I discovered that Nerissa had lied to me, and ever since I sought a way to regain Serenay's gift. And you know what I realised? No one is capable of taking the Diva's gifts, granted by his creator. Tristan's voice is barely audible. No one except for the Dawnflower herself. So you were made mortal by Serenay herself? Tristan nods. I found no other explanation for what happened to me. Nerissa's power is great, but not so great as to turn angels into mortals. I wanted to know if the way back to Serenay is open for me. I spent endless hours in prayer, asking for one thing. A sign, a vision, a portent, a single word. All I got in return was silence. Tristan smiles crookedly, holding a grieving grimace. I wanted so badly to do something extraordinary, and it appears that I succeeded. I fell so low that my most merciful lady couldn't forgive me for my sins. The goddess still grants you spells. Yes, perhaps this weak hope is the only thing that keeps me from losing my mind to despair. Or is this meagre pittance but an eternal reminder of what I've lost? Tristan stops. No. My merciful lady may be strict, but she's not capable of unforgiving sanction. Tristan straightened himself. Anyway, I didn't ask you to come to listen to my whining. I do not wish that my mortal deeds will end at deception and betrayal. It has cost me so much. Tristan shows you his hands. You see a crumpled leaflet, one of the invitations for the Kingdom of the Cleansed. I wish to put an end to at least one evil that Nerissa spawned, and I am asking for your help. Maybe you can finally tell me who this First Faithful is, and what the Kingdom of the Cleansed is. I only know what I could overhear, or what Nerissa boasted to me. One called First Faithful is a former priest of Edestil, named Ruthgard. When the bloom came to his village, he lost his faith. Edestil didn't protect his congregation, and Ruthgard was stripped of his position. After this, he set off for the Temple of the Elk, to pray to his god one last time, and if he didn't answer, to throw curses in the face of his idol. Like so many others, Ruthgard was fooled by Nerissa. She pretended to be the goddess of these lands, told Ruthgard that the curse of the king promised him untold gifts, in return for the death of his ruler. It was she who invented the name of this new cult, devoted to herself, and made Ruthgard its high priest. She knew just how to flatter him in his moments of weakness and despair, and he in turn did everything he could to draw his former congregation into the vile cult. Where do we start? A faint smile appears on Tristan's lips. I knew I could trust you and ask for your help. Thank you. I've heard that the cultists from the kingdom have been sighted once more. But now they no longer shout their slogans in broad daylight. No, they crawl from their lairs under cover of darkness to abduct people for sacrifice. At least that's what is being said. We should return to their temple walls, where they once held their rituals. Of course, First Faithful is not so foolish as to return to the scene of his crime. But perhaps another one of the cleansed has visited this meeting place. Held rituals, remember the past, gods only know what else. If we're lucky, we might find something there. Alright. Octavia pensively fiddles with a small metal trinket while she waits. Takes a moment to notice you as you approach. Oh, hi. It seems we haven't been properly introduced. Allow me, Octavia della Fioni, heir to a noble title, a family manor, even a coat of arms with a motto. With a sad smile, Octavia shows you the trinket she was playing with. It's a fibula, decorated with a coat of arms, a butterfly and an arrow. At the bottom you see the motto, serve solely my conscience. So you're from a noble family. I could hardly believe it myself, but there's no doubt. I'm the missing daughter of Marchioness della Fioni. Missing, that's what they're calling it. You know where to find your family? There isn't one really. The della Fioni family was waiting before I was born. My mother's the last one. She's living in Pitax, in a small townhouse. I'm going to pay her a visit and I'd like you to accompany me. Sure. As you wish. Your Excellency, I would... Yeah. At first she seemed a little offended, but the moment later she's bent in half, laughing. Excellency, oh, I can't. My Excellency. A high-born Marchioness of the highest rank. Phew. Thank you anyway. The details not important, I just want to see my mother. Alright. Waiting for the book. Woven Fortress. Saving Grace. And No Man's Slave. Reggie. How'd you end up figuring it out? Found my tribe, have you? Okay. Oh, that's another story entirely. I'm not actually all that interested. Just tell me what you found. Are you looking for revenge? Not sure what I want yet. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe... Might be enough just look at these freaks to be sure nature's punished them well. So who's your tribe? The sewer rats. Wait, no, that's not. The crab lice. Threadbare moles. Man, I just can't seem to remember. Alright, the dung pigs. The half-orc gives you a upset grin. Fine, fine. They call themselves the Sharp Fangs, and for good reason. The guy grins, displaying his teeth. They have kids with orcs to straighten their blood. Not bad, huh? They breed themselves like pedigree cattle. So I really been sold twice. Firstly by my orc sour mother, who took some gold to push me out, and my brothers out. See that again. I'm at the point where I need to rest. We've been going well over 3 hours at this point. We're animals, so somehow think of being here of civilization. Well said. Alright, you want to meet them. Let's go meet them. Yes, we've been going well over 3 hours, although I believe an hour of that was taken out by real-life events. So when we return, we've got to cleanse the temple. We've got to meet Regengast. We've got to meet Octavia's people. Wait for that. And go take care of that. For now, let me just check something here. Alright. So, I will be ending, and I shall see you next time.